What is a radical? A disruptor? An innovator? A world changer? A pain in the ass? A genius? All these plus more? Radicals are disruptive innovators who have the courage of their convictions, power of persuasion, and the skill to create consensus across the enterprise. Why are radicals so important today? They are rewriting the rules of our major brands and iconic retailers. They are the entrepreneurs in the systems that resist change. They are digitally fluent and live without borders, and they communicate in a different language. We all need them because they are going to shape the future and help save our legacy institutions. So, what is a radical? We asked several icons in the industry to weigh in on radicalism.
The retail industry needs radicals because the world of retail is fundamentally changing. It's moving at a pace that nobody ever anticipated, and the retail industry needs people who are going to keep up with that pace of change.
The retail industry has always needed radicals and innovators. It's an industry that's based on fashion, trends, what's new, what's next. So without radicals, how are we ever going to find the next greatest thing?
The retail industry needs and craves radicals because that's where the real change happens in the industry. If you take a look at what's been going on for the last 50 years in retail, any significant change has always been the result of somebody taking a risk, thinking a little bit differently than others in their industry, other than their peers, getting out of that comfort zone and really making effective change. So radicals are welcome in retail.
The industry needs radicals because we are an industry in constant motion. We need change. We need people to drive that change to keep up with consumer behavior. In fact, keeping up with consumer behavior isn't enough. You need to lead it.
The industry needs radicals because they change the face of retailing. Think about Sam Walton, Les Wexner, Jeff Bezos. Look what they've accomplished.
Well, the industry needs radicals because, as the saying goes, even if you're on the right track, you're going to get run over if you just sit there.
So, who are some of these disruptors?
The two most important innovators in retail are Jack Ma and Jeff Bezos. Bezos controlling the Western world, Ma controlling the Eastern world. It's going to be curious to see which one ultimately dominates. Will one take over the other?
In terms of retail radicals, I've got a lot of time for Jeff Gannett of Macy's. I think it's so much more difficult to make something out of something than it is to make something out of nothing. That's what he is trying to do at Macy's, and I think he'll be successful.
A great example of a disruptive innovator from a retail radical perspective, I'd say John Douglas at Tory Burch, because he was able to uniquely rally that culture, that company, and connect not only great change from a technology and outcome perspective, but also make sure it connects with purpose.
But I will tell you this, the real giant innovator and disruptor is Doug McMillon, the CEO of Walmart. He's the nuclear bomb in disruption and fundamental transformation, and he's got deep enough pockets that he is going to become Amazon's biggest headache. In fact, at one point they may become more dominant than Amazon, online and off.
And finally, why is innovation the key to the future?
I think retail is going through rapid change, and it needs innovation in almost every aspect, how to create better experiences.
I think the innovation that comes to the top of my list is removing all of the friction that exists in brick and mortar retail by virtue of eliminating the expense and complication of the transaction itself.
Retailers today need to understand data. In order for them to be successful, the magic is in the facts.
The innovation that I think is most important today in retail is the opportunity for great brands to continue to work and challenge themselves to work with other partners that they might not have worked with before, to serve the consumer experience in new ways, deliver new value, new business models, and truly innovate around that customer experience.
I think the most important innovation today for retail is in the area of culture, cultural transformation.
The most important innovation in retailing for me is a combination of technology and the human factor. In the stores, it's been in the supply chain, it's been in the delivery aspect, but how do you convert that into physically selling product?
So, some straight talk about transformation.
So this is not complicated. We're not out there trying to create something that's never been done before. We have to be out there understanding what does the customer want, how do we exceed her expectations, and take it from there.
More than ever, needs radical thinkers and doers, because they're the only people who will risk what it takes to drive fundamental transformation just for survival. Incrementalists are dead men walking.
So in the end, do you walk your talk?
The most radical thing I've done in my personal life related to business was I jumped off the top of the Stratosphere Tower in Las Vegas with a customer. It's about a 103-story drop. It's a controlled winch. I'm not sure I'd recommend it for everyone else, but we certainly had a good time doing it.
Radicals, innovators, disruptors, risk takers, shapeshifters, and change agents. They are the future of our business. Listen to them, even if they make you feel uncomfortable. They want a seat at your table, and they've got a lot to say.